Hey guys, so I guess I'm live here. I'm looking at this screen and not really sure if I should make some corrections, but I had a thought today. Um, the thought is real simple. Every day you can actually give yourself a raise. Most people wait until they get their, semi-annual review or their annual review on their job, and they're hoping for a 2%, 3%, 5% raise, so they can try and stay up with the, you know, with the times, with the inflation in the economy. Times are tough for a lot of people. So I always advocate you should have a side hustle, right? And a lot of people don't know what that means. What's a side hustle? It means that having another income, another stream of income. I think for as long as I can remember, I've always had at least two incomes, right? A job, then something else where I can make some money on the side. That's always been kind of natural for me. There were a lot of years that I did not, I didn't have that, right? I didn't pursue um, having that other stream. I was too busy kind of working on and focused on real estate. I love the company that I work with. Great compensation, model and plan and training, and it really put me at top of my game. So I really, believe that you have to learn before you earn, right? And the more you know, the more you can actually make, right? So this kind of is in the same string as that. So you want to escape your 9 to 5, right? You have a job, you've got one income, it's not making enough, but because you're like struggling, you don't know what to do. You can't really figure that out, right? So here's what you can do. Grab a side hustle. Now there are a lot of direct marketing companies that exist out in the world today. These are basically business in a box. Sorry to move this camera, it just wasn't in the right spot. These are basically a business in a box. And what a business in a box is a company that's already gone through all the painstaking of product development, testing, marketing, branding, blah, blah, blah. Everything is done for you already. All you have to do is enroll in the company, and then you basically have created a business using their product, something you don't have to create, to sell. Now, don't worry about the comp plan. Don't worry about how you get paid. At some point, you want to get that. Your first week, you should do nothing more than acclimate yourself to what that product is and what that industry is. Okay. Now, here's the interesting thing. This is where I labeled the video what I did, which is give yourself a raise every day. For every customer you get with that side business equates to money you could not earn at your current company, right? So for every customer, every income piece you get is a raise, whether it's $25, $1,000, $4,000, $10,000, whatever it might be, right? Now here's the benefit. For some companies, there's a residual plan, meaning like an insurance company. So I'm a real estate agent, right? That's what I do for a living. I sell real estate. I don't get paid until I close a deal, whether it's a rental, a lease, long-term lease for a business. I sell a house, or help a buyer buy a house, right? That's how I get paid. And I don't get paid until the closing, which means it can take anywhere from a rental. It could take as long as a couple of days, right? 3 or 4 days. But it could go as long as 3 or 4 weeks for a rental. For a home to sell, it could be sold in a day, which means it's going to be 30 to 45 days on average, sometimes as long as 60 to 90 days for that deal to close for me to get paid. Working with the buyer, it might take that buyer a weekend to find the right property. It might take us, for that particular buyer, 4 months to find the right property. I've heard of agents taking much longer time. It shouldn't take that much time, but I've heard of people taking so much more time to do that. Okay? So if that's the case, your check isn't coming to much, much, much later down the road. And you have to figure out how many people can you work with at the same time. Let's go back to the business in a box. You have a product. Your only thing you have to do is expose that product to as many people as possible. That's it. You expose the product to the people. They decide if they like it, if they want to move forward with it or not. You don't have to sell the product. It either works for them or it doesn't work for them. You may have to show some advantages, some benefits for how it could work for them so they kind of get it. And you're going to only be able to do that when you understand what their needs are. Outside of that, it's a yes or a no, and then you move on to the next person. The name of the game in direct sales or network marketing is expose your product to as many people as possible. Now, some of those people will want to make an additional income. So now you talk about joining the business, right? Quote unquote, building a team. And some people are just going to want to benefit from the product. Now, I have a friend, she works for a company called Party Light. I love Party Light candles. I like the convenience of calling her, making an order, paying the money, being done. I've got my candles delivered to the door in a few days. Now, for basic candles, unscented, that I just want for ambiance, then I may just go to the local Target or something and just buy a couple of basic candles that are unscented. But the ones that I want to make sure I've got, long time burn, no smoke, not a lot of the flaking or sparkling or whatever from the wicks on the candles, I'll just give her a call and get quality candles every single time, and not to worry about smelling, checking, seeing what's what. I already know what I like. I already have the inventory list together. I give her a call. If there's something new, she knows what I like. She gives me a recommendation. I try it. Boom, it's done. I pay my money and it's done, right? So the benefit of having a business in a box is the person you're dealing with is going to be the one who benefits from your purchase, right? So, and it's a relationship type business, right? That's what I like about it. So I hope that helps. Hope I mentioned everything. I believe I want to talk about residuals a little bit more. So think about this. As a real estate agent, I only get paid when I sell a deal, when I close a deal. An insurance agent, right? They get paid when they close the deal, and then they get a residual every month for a lot of companies. Some of them will get paid when they first close the deal, and they get paid on the renewal of that insurance policy, right? Mortgage people, same thing. They get paid at the closing, they get paid on that deal, and then they get a residual payment from some companies, and others they'll pay them again once a client refinances or they change the program in some way, and they're incentivized that every 2, 3, 4, 5 years to reach back out to old clients and to put them on a new package. Why is that? Because the mortgage company makes the most amount of money in the interest that you're paying in the beginning of the loan. Once you get about halfway into the loan, you're actually making higher payments on the principal, not on the interest, right? So if you're in any kind of business that has a residual payment plan, then you understand what I'm talking about. An insurance agent could sell 100 insurance policies this year, right? A realtor could sell 100 homes this year. They both get paid on the closing of those deals. The difference is the following year, the insurance company or agent is going to renew that insurance package. They're going to get paid again. You see how that makes a lot of sense? They're going to get paid again. Whereas a realtor, I am only getting paid when I close that deal. A lot of these other companies will pay you monthly or even weekly in a residual way based on the volume that you sell. So business in a box. Look at a direct sales or network marketing company. I have a few that I work with that pay very, very well. 2, 3, 4, 5 different ways you get paid at each company, right? And it's all cumulative, so you get one check. Some pay once a month, some pay once a week, right? So I hope this helps. I know that last part a little confusing back and forth, but if you want to give yourself a raise every day and not be held to the thumb pressing down on you from your boss, you having to outperform someone, or you feeling like you don't get what you deserve, consider this. All right, that's it. Take care.